This is The Waltz by Dorothy Parker. Why, thank you so much. I'd adore to. I don't want to dance with him. I don't want to dance with anybody. And even if I did, it wouldn't be him. Just think. Not a quarter of an hour ago, here I was sitting, feeling so sorry for the poor girl he was dancing with. And now I'm going to be the poor girl. And I had to go and tell him that I'd adore to dance with him. I cannot understand why I wasn't struck dead. Yes, and being struck dead would look like a day in the country compared to struggling out a dance with this boy. But what could I do? Everyone else at the table had got up to dance, except him and me. There I was, trapped like a rat in a trap. What can you say when a man asks you to dance with him? Oh, yes, let's dance together. It's so nice to meet a man who isn't a scaredy cat about being my bravery. No, there was nothing for me to do but say I'd adore to. Why, I think it's more of a waltz, really, isn't it? We might just listen to the music a second. Shall we? Oh, yes, it's a waltz. Mind? Why, I'm simply thrilled. I'd love to waltz with you. I'd love to waltz with you. I'd love to waltz with you. I'd love to have my tonsils out. I'd love to be in a midnight fire at sea. Well, it's too late now. We're getting underway. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh, this is even worse than I thought it would be. I suppose that's the one dependable law of life. Everything is always worse than you thought it was going to be. Oh, if I had any real grasp of what this dance would be like, I'd have held out for sitting it out. Well, it will probably amount to the same sense in the end for sitting it out. Well, we'll be sitting it out on the floor in a minute if he keeps things up. Why can't we stay in one place just long enough to get acclimated? It's this constant rush, rush, rush. That's the curse of American life. That's the reason why we're all of us so... Ow! For heaven's sake, don't kick, you idiot. This is only the second down. Ow, my shin, my poor shin that I've had ever since I was a little girl. Oh, no. Goodness, no. It didn't hurt the least little bit. And anyway, it was my fault. Really, it was. Truly. Well, you're just being sweet, so to say that. It was really all my fault. I wonder what I'd better do. Kill him this instant with my naked hands, or wait and let him drop in his traces. Maybe it's not best to make a scene. Maybe he didn't do it maliciously. Maybe it's just his way of showing his high spirits. I suppose I ought to be glad that one of us is having such a good time. I suppose I ought to think myself lucky if he brings me back alive. Yes, it's lovely, isn't it? It's simply lovely, the loveliest waltz. Isn't it? Oh, I think it's lovely too. Ow! Get off my instep, you hulking peasant. Who do you think I am anyway? A gangplank? Ow! No, of course you didn't hurt. Why, it didn't a bit. Honestly, and it was my fault. You see that little step of yours? Well, it's perfectly lovely, but it's just a tiny bit tricky to follow at first. Oh, did you work it up yourself? You really did? Well, aren't you amazing? Oh, now I think I've got it. Oh, I think it's lovely. I was watching you do it when you were dancing before. It's awfully effective when you look at it. It's awfully effective when you look at it. It's awfully effective when you look at me. My hair is hanging along my cheeks. My skirt is swaddled about me. I can feel the cold damp of my brow. I must look like something out of Fall of the House of the Usher. Is that orchestra going to stop playing, or must this obscene travesty of a dance go on until hell burns out? Oh, they're going to play another encore. Oh, goody. Oh, that's lovely. Tired? I should say I'm not tired. I'd like to go on like this forever. I should say I'm not tired. I'm dead. That's all I am. I wonder why I didn't tell him I was tired. I wonder why I didn't suggest going back to the table. Still, if we were back at the table, I'd probably have to talk to him. Look at him. What could you say to a thing like that? How could you go to the circus this year? What's your favorite kind of ice cream? How do you spell cat? I guess I'm well off here. It's as well off as if I were in a cement mixer in the full action. I'm past feeling now. The only way I can tell when this steps on me is that I can hear the splintering of bones, and all the events of my life were passing before my eyes. There was a time was in a hurricane in the West Indies. There was the day I got my head cut open in a taxi smash. There was the night the drunken lady threw a bronze ashtray at her own true love and got me instead. And there was that summer where the sailboat kept capsizing. Ah, what an easy, peaceful time of mine until I fell in with Swifty here. I think my mind is beginning to wander. It almost seems as if the orchestra were stopping. It couldn't be, of course, it could never be. Oh, they've stopped. The mean things. They're not going to play anymore. Oh, darn. Oh, do you think they would? Do you really think so? If I gave them $20? Oh, that would be lovely. And look, do tell them to play the same thing. I simply adore to go on waltzing.